Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast for February 5th, going into the 6th. I'm going to start off with natural gas. Pretty uneventful day here, just chopped sideways. Been bearish overall from 820.80. We saw $6.68.6 to the downside. More recently, the failure below 383 warned of pressure. We came off 675 ticks. And I said we're now in a bearish correction or trend against the move up from 257.80, with possible exhaustion to contend with down at 297.30. But it's too early to expect this to hold more than temporarily until Monday. And then on the second, we also left a minor bearish reversal above. And the break below 348.30 is brought in 328 ticks of pressure. A maintained gap higher tomorrow will leave a minor bullish reversal below. Okay, and the crude oil continue to come off today. We had gotten bearish yesterday on the break back below this line, came off, pulled back up to it a little bit, and then rolled over. I'm not going to go over the higher time frame stuff right now. The break back below 64.55 minus 2 ticks per hour, which was this line, has brought in pressure down to 62.65. And decent trade below 61.89 plus 1.2 ticks per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. We'll project this downward, $4 minimum, $6.10 plus maximum. Prefer to see it bounce off that a little bit first before breaking below it for higher quality short. If we break below there decently and back up through it decently, look for decent short covering to come in. This happens to rally and take out this formation above. That's a substantial formation. That comes in at 66.21. Minus 0.1 of a tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. And that would project this upward $5 plus. Again, we'd like to reject off that first before breaking above it. And in the RBOB, or unleaded gasoline, we were bullish from below when we held exhaustion with a 169.78 low. We bounced 27.22 cents. I'd said at the time that if this was the beginning of a bullish correction or trend, it should exceed 20.3 cents from the 169.78 low. But I think that we have likely exhausted this move. We're in the last stretch here. I'd said we just came shy of this exhaustion level right here at 197.32 with a 197 even high. And I said if this rolls over into a bearish correction, the minimum target is going to be 184.10. So we came off, tried to challenge that again, couldn't take it out, and started to roll over. So we might see more of that to the downside, especially if we start taking out these formations below. And likewise, if we trade higher and take that out, you have an area up here to contend with at 199.02 to 199.43, which is another possible exhaustion area, but also a significant line for a significant formation. So I'd expect a rejection off there, but if we blow through it, we'd have fairly large projections to the upside. Okay, in the heating oil, tomorrow has a good likelihood of seeing range expansion. Break back below 244.50 now warns of renewed pressure. That was a break back below this line right here. We've seen pressure down to 236.94. Decent failure below this formation is also going to want a pressure. That's going to come into 239.27 plus 4 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're to see a decent break above this formation up above here, which comes in at 243.30. Minus 13 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That'll warrant decent strength. Break above there decently and back down through it decently. Look for decent pressure to come in. In the Brent, we held exhaustion with a 70.58 high and rolled over $5.39 into a bearish correction or trend against a move up from 58.45. That is now off hold. This broke above and below a similar formation in crude. I just didn't suggest a short on it. Decent trade below this formation right here at 66.47. Plus 1.5 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll project this downward $3.70 minimum, $5.80 plus maximum. If we break below there decently and back up through it decently, look for decent short cover to come in. Decent in there overnight. It's going to be 76 ticks. A decent penetration. And gas oil. Not going to go over the higher time frame stuff. The trade below 690.25 brought in 27.75 of pressure. So I had a typo in on this. But this is now bearish as well. Decent trade below this formation will warrant a pressure. That's going to come in at 668.29. Plus 10 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Prefer to see a bounce off of that first before breaking below. Decent trade above 697.54. Minus 34 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll warrant a decent strength. The cadence going into tomorrow is the RBOB is the strongest of the three. The crude oil in the middle and the heat the weakest of the three relative to one another. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good evening, and I'll see you on tomorrow's podcast.